Well, thank you so much for having me. I am John McInerney, founder and executive director of Buildup STEAM. I'm excited to share our approach towards implementing hands-on play experiences in the hospital setting. Buildup STEAM, our goal is we strive to inspire creative and positive thinking by building an environment of encouragement and healing while reducing anxiety and stress for children who are hospitalized. A brief overview of my background. I wanted to be a product designer for Lego since I was a kid. I wanted to be the person that creates the sets that brings joy to others. I went to school at the University of Michigan at the School of Art and Design there. And I was also a teacher and camp counselor for a company called the Robot Garage, where I taught Lego robotics and architecture to kids of all ages. Some of you may recognize Hogwarts there in one of my pictures. That was built in 1 week with a group of 30 kids. And along with that is the Lego guitar, which is currently at the music therapy studio at Mott Children's Hospital. And the giant bionicle was just for fun, a project for me. While teaching at the Robot Garage, I gained a passion for teaching, and I wanted to reach the kids who couldn't make it out to a place like the Robot Garage. With that thought, I started volunteering at Mott Children's Hospital, bringing in clean Lego and robots twice a month for activity room events. Those became so popular that we actually had a large event in collaboration with Child Life called the Lego Party, where anyone who was feeling up to it could come up to the conference room and build and play with robots. And we had over 100 people come through to this event. This was the first event that proved to the hospital administration that there is a need for hands-on experiences in the hospital setting. If you guys want to go to the next slide, there's some really cool pictures of that in action. All right, and so one day during my bi-monthly event, I got everything set up in the activity room, a big Lego pile, some robots, and none of the kids were feeling well enough to come down to the activity room. So I had a thought, maybe there's a way I can go to them. So I made the Creative STEAM Unit, a cart that contains everything we need to build and program robots at the bedside. We had our sanitation process made in coordination with the infection prevention team, and all materials needed to disinfect are contained in the cart. We can see that on the next slide. So I continued to volunteer with Mott Children's, and we eventually got funding for a pilot program for 3 months, and now I've been with Mott Children's Hospital for 5 years. So what does the bedside robotics program look like today? So right now at CS Mott Children's Hospital, we have 2 employees. We like to call them Buildup Buddies, providing our bedside robotics service. They are there at the hospital for 36 hours a week with a 7-day coverage. At the Children's Hospital of Michigan, we have 2 Buildup Buddies providing the service for 20 hours a week with a 3-day coverage. And we are currently building partnerships with 4 more children's hospitals, and we're actually moving forward, and our next hospital we will launch at is the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Our training program is in person, and I'm currently working on some virtual resources to just make the whole program easier to start. Our sanitation process and protocol is built with the hospital's infrastructure and current sanitizing protocols in mind. It's very much a group effort, and all of our kits have 3 different robots they can build. They look like this. So we currently have 18 different robots available for the kids to build. So what does a robot building event or intervention look like? If we want to go to the next slide. So how our intervention operates, we have a Buildup app on the iPad that comes with our carts, and we have a menu of all 18 different robots that are available to build. So we let the kids swipe through the iPad and choose whatever robot looks the coolest, is kind of how I phrase it. And whenever they find one that they really are into, we click on that icon and up pops the instructions. They read just like a normal Lego set where we swipe through going in step by step. But these robots are a little bit different. These are all custom made by me after 5 years of studying how kids with limited finger strength put things together. So out of the box, they are as easy to build as possible and geared towards use in the hospital setting. So after we're done swiping through all these steps, we have a completed robot, which is on the next slide. So this is FlowerBot, our most popular robot. And this is what the most recent one looks like. We actually shifted over to a new robotic system made by Lego, and it's actually much easier to use in the hospital setting, so I'm geeking out about it. But once the robot is done, we have little program cards like this one in the middle here, and we're able to show the kids how to program the robot. So with FlowerBot, for example, we can use the same iPad that we just used for instructions to program and interface with the robot. So we grab our play button, drag it up from the bottom, put it in the middle. That tells our program to start. Next, we want to find our motor speed control, drag that up into the program. We're going to put it at full speed. We're going to tell our robot to move forward for 4 seconds, then spin around for 2, then move backward for 2, and then stop. So once we run through the program and the kids are able to play with the robot, have it run around the room, whatever they want to do with it, we let them, and we can encourage them to actually change the program up to make it do what they want to do, giving them an extra layer of control throughout the intervention. So on top of that, we also give them an opportunity to change the robot up in any way they want to, and really make the experience their own. So if we want to go to the next slide here, here are a few examples of different robots that the kids have made without any instruction from me. We have a little bunny looking robot. We have a troll that threw a rock. And on the right-hand side, we have Jimmy. the kid I was working with was like, yep, it's just Jimmy. All right, so we can go to the next slide. So Buildup Steam by the numbers. So since our official launch in 2018, we have seen 2,695 patients at Mott Children's Hospital and the Children's Hospital Michigan. And this number is specifically one-on-one robotics events and interventions at the bedside. The average age of our builder is 9 years old. We work with kids 5 and up. That's not a hard deadline. That's more for developmental age. And we've worked with 3 and 4-year-olds who will be working for NASA someday. 51% of the rooms we have visited want to build robots. And of course, the fun is infinite. So this is our impact at the Children's Hospital of Michigan in our first year. At the end of our intervention, we have a patient experience survey. This is an opportunity for the patients to tell us what they thought about the program. Did building a robot improve their hospital experience, and how did building a robot make you feel today? So of the patients who were feeling well enough to want to fill out this survey, we had 140 say building a robot helped them feel calm. 151 said building a robot helped them build confidence. 158 said it helped them feel more energetic. And 69 said it helped them feel less pain. And from our results of our survey, everyone who built a robot said it improved their hospital experience year one at the Children's Hospital of Michigan. So with our goal being empowering the creativity and self-expression and reducing anxiety in the hospital setting, it is very promising to see these results. So our services during COVID-19. So during COVID, we all had to shift gears a little bit. And for us at Mott, we shifted gears entirely to a virtual version of Child Life called MottTube, where everyone in Child Life was invited to create videos that would interface to the CCTV at the hospital. And this would allow patients to have that sense of social experience, even in a setting of quarantine. So, so we made a whole bunch of videos about each of these giveaway kits. I made 300 of them, and each little kit bag can build 6 different creatures. So we put together all of these kit bags, and then I made these videos for the patients to be able to follow along. And it ended up being one of the more popular videos on our MottTube service, which was a shock to me. We called it Buildup. So for patient technology programs that heavily use their CCTV, this is a service that we have tested and has worked. So if there's any interest in that, you can feel free to reach out on that front. So let's go to the next slide. So here is another project that was in collaboration with the Child Life team at Mott. This Child Life specialist reached out and wanted to put together a Lego scavenger hunt. So the staff utilized this scavenger hunt with a lot of post-surgery patients, and it has been utilized by physical therapy to get kids up and moving. Even the kids who don't use it for the physical benefits like to just get out and explore the unit. So here we have transformed some of the nurses' stations into these big scenes. These two in the middle and on the right are some of the examples of one we have up on our 12th floor unit. And on the left-hand side, we have the smaller scenes that the kids are looking for around the unit. So if we go to the next slide, here are a few more examples of some of these smaller scenes, including the parrot that we used from our giveaway kits. And this whole project really took another step forward when a child life specialist on another unit wanted to make his own scavenger hunt, but we had the patients and families of the unit actually build it. So if we go to the next slide, here we can see all the different patient and family made builds that are actually there on the unit for others to enjoy. And the next slide has a few more. So our child life goals and benefits. So we offer therapeutic activities to patients that briefly distract them from their situations while providing an outlet for creativity, positivity, and self-expression. We enhance a patient's self-control and independence. We improve access to therapeutic creative service that may otherwise be inaccessible to a specific diagnosis or condition. We can go to the kids instead of having them come down to the activity room. As we find our way out of strict COVID restrictions, there are more parents and siblings in the hospital, and they are just as interested and involved in projects as our builders. And fine motor skills, picking up, squeezing, and pushing Lego together. Our services have been specifically used by Child Life to work with kids who are afraid of moving their arms and hands due to an IV or pick. In one session, we have had kids try to build with one hand, quickly get frustrated with that method, and start building with both. So here we have a few patient and family testimonials. Instead of having me read through all of this, we can probably just casually go through the next few slides if anyone has any questions. All right, not seeing any questions right now. So if you want, we can try to mess with some of these videos, or I can just go through and tell this story too. So we've
got a couple of questions here, John.
Sure. Oh, awesome. How'd you get the cases put up? So we actually used little golf ball cases, like for the smaller sets, and the bigger sets we used full pieces of acrylic that we cut to the size of the nurses' stations. So we actually built the models to specifically fit the nurses' stations, and then we attached the acrylic, and that allows us the way that we were approved to do this, we had to make everything removable. So it actually made it a little bit easier on us to just use these acrylic boxes that are pre-made, and then these acrylic panels. So if we do need to remove them for any reason, we can just pop them off the wall. They're held up there with the two-way adhesive. Those are pretty cool. Those trays for building, yep. So those are actually from IKEA. They're fantastic. They're maybe like $12, $13. I personally like the blue, but they have gray and white as well.
And John, we'll wait for a couple more questions maybe to pop in, but you mentioned some videos.
Sure. I'll try to share this one.
We'll do our best to make it work. I think you'll be able to get the video to work, so long as it's open in a different tab, and then you just share a tab.
Let's try.
If you want to put the link in the chat, we can just share it on our end as well.
Yeah, I'll do that. Thank goodness for YouTube. Boop. Here we go. So yeah, this video is really great because it actually shows the kids interacting with the robots and the program in action.
All right, we'll bring that up in just a second. Here we go.
Guess we'll do what we can with quality.
Kitten out! Kitten out! No, no, no. Hey, look, it's going upside down.
Hi, my name's John McInerney, Executive Director at Buildup Team, and in partnership with Child's Play Charity and with support from the LEGO Foundation, we can get this program and its impact started globally. So we did not get that grant. We tried though.
Hi, we're Vimeo.
And John, I don't know if you saw it, but during the video, you had a couple of questions just pop up. We got a few minutes left in your time slot here. So It looks like it says, what areas are you hoping to expand with Buildup Steam? And
Yep.
then a couple others.
Sure. So where we're expanding with Buildup Steam is providing the Creative Steam unit, the Lego cart, as another means of service for patient technology programs. So we have been growing right alongside Mott Children's patient technology program, and we actually provide services to the Children's Hospital Michigan currently, and they don't have a patient technology program. So far our growth is more so in partnership with child life programs who are interested in implementing a new service to their patients. And we are a young, growing organization. I'm essentially the only full-time employee. So if there are other areas that you are interested in potentially exploring how we could make something, please let me know. All of these projects are, let's make them and see what happens. And there's no reason why we can't move forward with that. I did see a question, do I ever incorporate medical play or building medical equipment / devices with Lego? So I specifically don't do that. I have helped somebody with their child life internship project making a Lego MRI machine. That was a few years back, but medical play is something that I don't specifically do, and I'm specifically not trained for. I am not a child life specialist. I think I'm more so a rogue patient technology specialist that uses Lego instead of video games. So that's kind of my area of expertise, is more so implementing hands-on activities in the hospital setting.
We won't report you to the gaming technology police.
Oh,
even
thank
though you're
goodness.
rogue. Yeah. He's gone rogue, says Braxton.
This guy's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody says, looks like Jean-Jacques says, easily one of the most popular programs at our hospital. That's awesome. JJ? That's our JJ. Oh, I didn't see the Bouchard. Oh my gosh. I'm calling him Jean-Jacques from now on. Or Jean Jack. I don't know which one. Jean Jacket. That's what I'm calling him. I'm calling him Jean Jacket Bouchard. And John is like, what are you talking about? I want to be a rogue specialist. All right. Did we have an actual question pop in? Eric's popping over to me. What?
Do they use volunteers to count the Legos?
Oh, yeah. Now, one of the questions was, do you use volunteers to count all the Legos? I don't know if that was a legit question, but talk about volunteer involvement.
Sure. So right now at Mott, we are actually making more of those giveaway sets that can be given out to the patients. When we run low on Lego, they actually have me just buy and order all these sets. And we actually have volunteers who aren't busy at the time putting together more of these Lego sets. So luckily, I don't have to do all of the sorting and counting anymore for those giveaway kits, because doing 300 of those takes about a week. With one person, it takes about a week with one person. And currently with our programs at the hospitals, they are employees of Buildup Steam that are partnered with the patient technology programs or child life programs. We do have an option just to get people a Lego cart if that's what they're interested in, and we still provide the training on how to use that in the hospital setting and incorporating the infection control precautions into the workflow of the program. And that's something that we've now done with both Mott and the Children's Hospital Michigan, and we are just about to start digging into with the Children's Hospital Philadelphia. Do I ever partner with middle school Lego leagues? So I personally do not. The Robot Garage, where I used to work, worked in that space, but I actually partner with a summer camp for kids on the spectrum, and I am essentially their robotics program. So it's a little bit of a side gig for me. But I typically work with 10 to 12 kids there in those groups for an hour long each week. We have 12 events a year with this organization. And I do monthly events with other organizations here in Detroit. But we are slowly creeping and expanding to events out of state. I'm actually working with the Jack Nicklaus Hospital in Miami, Florida, and we're going to do a group Lego event there in their hospital in October. So how do I clean all the Lego? So the Lego that is used in the hospital, with Mott in particular, we actually store all the Lego in these bins here. So I kind of classify these as non-robotic parts and these ones as robotic parts. So when we take apart a robot, we put everything back in here and we fill this up with liquid oxivir. And I made a little machine that tumbles it around. So every single crevice and crack gets hit with disinfectant. And once this is used, it's done for the day until the disinfectant dries. And it can be rinsed with water at that point to get any extra residue off. And then once, we have 2 of each little bag. So this one builds 3 robots. Once it's used, it's done for the day. And once the other yellow one is used, the yellow ones just can't be built anymore. That's the beauty of having all of these good multiple robots. We never run out of robots.